Yeah, 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 I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you lusting is the one you're loving? Let me welcome to the show the founder, creator of BuyFromABlackWoman.org, Nikki Porcher. Hi.
Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome. She comes in with her corporate voice today. Hello, Nikki. How are you?
Hello, Karen.
How's the son? How's everyone? How's the
Yes,
family?
we'll circle back to that after the holidays.
All right. So, I don't remember when. It was like a couple of years ago. There was a documentary called Black Wealth. And that's where I saw Don Peebles, and I invited him on to do, my Road to Freedom, one of my Road to Freedom town halls. Don Peebles was featured in it. Also in this Black Wealth documentary that I watched was a woman named Maggie Anderson. Maggie Anderson, she did an entire year of only buying Black products. She did a book. She chronicled her whole journey. It was tough, but she was able to do it. Were you inspired by Maggie?
I was. Yes, I was actually inspired by Maggie. It was called My Black Year. So her and her husband and her family, they live in Chicago, and they were able to showcase and document them just buying just from local Black businesses in the Chicago area. It was like 2006, 2008 time period where it was kind of taboo for them and very hard because the directories we have today, so many e-commerce businesses we have today, she didn't have back then, right? She had to rely on just her local neighborhood. And in her book, and then also there's so many, she even had a TED Talk. She was able to share just some of the frustrations around going to some of these Black businesses, seeing the resources that they had compared to the white counterparts in that same area, and just how difficult it was to find dry cleaner, to find a Black-owned gas station. She had young daughters at the time, so even trying to make sure she had Black fast food restaurants that she can go to and stuff like that on the day she didn't feel like cooking. So she did all of this stuff. So she is an inspiration. We've actually are in conversations as well. She is becoming a very dear friend of mine. She's excited about a Black Women's Year. She is lending her resources, her connections, her expertise as much as she can. I don't want to tell too much of her business, but she's on board. And she let me know that whatever I needed from her, she's like, the baton is ready to be passed. Let's do it.
Now if you listen to the show, you have to know, like, I don't do pre-interviews with anyone, no one. There've been a lot of, particularly, politicians, they want, well, give us a list of questions. No, I don't know what I'm going to ask. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to do my homework, but pretty much I just want to have a conversation with people. So my advice is always be prepared to talk about what you came on to talk about. Know your stuff. That's your best preparation. I'm not going to give you a list of questions. So I didn't even know that you were in community with Maggie Anderson. And as a matter of fact, I told Smith, stop the tape because I wanted to Google search, but you already knew I'm Google searching in real time because I remember being on the air talking about this woman when I had first started 9 years ago, about what that would look like. And at the time, I remember even talking about, paper towels, because I go through a lot of paper towels. Now I'm being environmentally more sound, and I have, wash, cloths and stuff that I reuse and wash. But back in the day, it was like I went through paper towels. So there was a Black-owned paper towel company, washing powder, because I wash my clothes a lot because I'm in the, working out in the sauna. Soap, Black soap is easy, but Black people, we know how to do soap and candles and stuff.
We can moisturize and clean. That's two things.
Child, we're going to have some cleaning products and we're going to be moist. Okay. But the things that, the everyday things, you need toilet paper. So there's a Black-owned toilet paper company, and people started sending me stuff. So I was like, I know it's possible. What's the biggest thing that you use every day that was hard for you to find a Black woman to provide?
I'm being honest. So when I actually sat down because I've been doing buy from Black women for so long that I have been gradually changing my lifestyle already. So it's like one of those things. You cannot be the founder of something or say that you're doing something and not do it. That's just doesn't work, right? Especially in the Black community, because they're always going to hold you accountable. So I've been gradually moving. So some of the things that might have been difficult, I've been able to find over the years. I had a cold this week. So one of the things I was looking for was like, oh my goodness, I use Vapor Rub. Where's the Black woman Vapor Rub out, right? And because we have the power of social media and the community of social media, I can just put a post on there with a picture like, hey, where's the Black woman version of that? And then just wait for the answers to come out. Because in those 10 years from when Maggie did it versus when I'm doing it now, we have grown so much. And that is what has been scaring the American economy, if we want to keep it honest, because we've been able to grow so much in such a short time that if we keep getting the resources handed to us, scratch that, not handed to us, and we keep getting the resources that have been owed to us, we can actually transform a lot of things, Karen. So one of the things I was looking for, I was like, okay, you know what's going to be difficult to find? Probably dryer sheets. Like, okay, I got to find dryer sheets because I'm one of those people when I dry. I found 3 companies owned by Black women that have dryer sheets, dryer balls, and even just like a powder of their washcloth that has like the dryer resistance in the washing powder. And you can go ahead and just put it in there. And I'll put all this stuff. I'm going to send you notes for your website, Karen, but also all this stuff will be on my website as well with the resources. So that was
okay. Wait, so hold on, Nikki. So Vapor Rub, who has Vapor Rub? Did you get a response?
No, I'm still waiting for that response.
Okay.
I put it out last night. So I'm still waiting because I have to verify these businesses before I share it with the public, right?
Right,
You know,
right.
QA is a big thing. I have a military background. I used to work in maintenance. We worked on planes. So I was deep in the QA thing. So before I go ahead and push somebody else out, let me do my own quality assurance first, because what I don't want to happen, what we saw happening in 2020, we find out about these businesses and we flood them because they're not ready for this influx of service. And while we think we're helping them, we're also causing them a disservice because they don't have the resources, they don't have the capital, they don't even have the energy or the bandwidth on their website to handle so much. So that's why we make sure we educate businesses as well.
I didn't realize that was a thing until I got on Urban View and ran into this amazing audience. And I remember the first time it happened, one of the first times it was with a shea butter company, Eugenia Shea, and the website crashed while she was on the radio. Crashed while I was on the radio. I invited her back and I said, listen, get your bandwidth up. Crashed again. And so, and it was in that moment that I started to understand that, you know, when they say, oh, Black people don't support, Black people support. Black people support, white people support, Black people. Some, you know, because again, this audience is so diverse. People will support the things, the products that are, you know, in our community that are doing well. People support because this is our nature. You wouldn't have had a Black Wall Street or all of those communities that were thriving in the 1919s and 20s if not for, well, segregation. But we didn't have too many choices. But it also spoke to, I mean, Hotel Teresa in Harlem. It also spoke to the community, right? We're going to support. So, you know, which is why we, you know, we have to also treat people a certain kind of way, treat people well who do support.
Yes. And I think, again, the part of a Black Woman Year is to show that the community does show up, that there is a community here that is willing to support Black women businesses. And the reason why, when people, I know you're listening, you're like, well, why just Black women businesses? My order of operation is this, okay? It's Black women business, Black businesses, minority businesses, local businesses. So like, that's my order. Also, as an organization, as a leader, I'm working with corporations, with partners that have tangible results that go right back into the Black women business community. So we have a national partnership with H&M. I can say proudly that H&M has been able to generate millions back into the buy from a Black woman community. They have changed lives, they have changed resources, they have provided resources, both internally and externally, and their direct corporate and their C-suites, even on their sales floor. So again, okay, I can work with them. There's other partners who, here, when I was doing research, right, I found out that when we talk about what was pledged, right, what was promised to Black equality, the Black business, Black communities back in June 2020, don't you know, altogether $930 billion were pledged? $930 billion. Do you know what that can do for the Black community? And that money actually, that's almost $1 trillion. That's
Mm-hmm.
reparations. And it's not just the Black businesses. They said like to healthcare, to housing, to, to businesses, but so many other different things where we're behind. And that money actually went to us. It would have been transformative, but it starts
Yes.
with us supporting each other, making those declarations, bringing back the old boycotts, all that stuff, and just uniting as a community. So if I can be a vessel and show everyone how I can survive a whole year using just Black women products, there's really no excuse for anybody else not to do something by changing just one thing they use every day.
Yes.
You brush your teeth every day. You put
Right.
lotion every day. You walk outside. There's something that you do every day, and you can just transform that one thing, right? And then just keep doing it. Like, okay, I use one. Let me go ahead and add two. And if you're like, oh, I can't do everything, okay, add one a month. So then that's 12 businesses, 12 different communities that
Yes.
helping in the year. And that can transform so much.
Nikki Porcher, buyfromablackwoman.org. I want to sit in that for a second, the intentionality. We need to stop looking to be offended, right? So if you're offended by buy from a Black woman or a Black woman year, which is what, is that the hashtag? A Black woman
Yes.
year?
Yes.
Okay. A Black woman year is the hashtag that Nikki Porcher and whomever else is going to join her chronicle your experience on your social media with that hashtag so we can search it. That's why you do a hashtag. That's why you do a consistent hashtag that we all use so that we can search the hashtag and then get the information. I know we like to remix things and put our own spin on it, but there's a reason why hashtags are uniform so that you can provide the service by doing a hashtag and then we can search your whole experience. But talking with Tiffany Aliche, who is the Budgetnista, who her business services Black women as well as a preschool teacher. And I keep bringing her up because it is so powerful to me that this woman devoted her career to teaching children, 3 and 4-year-old children, to learn how to read so that their foundation would be set in a bad school system in the heart of Newark, inner city Newark. But she said teaching their mothers, because most of them were raised by just their mom, meant that the whole community would thrive. Mm-hmm. And you know what the Budgetnista's been doing off of just poor, like low income Black women. She has been able to transform whole lives. So there's a saying that when you take care of a woman, you take care of a village. Because women naturally going to nurture. They're nurturing men out there. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. And that also means there's an evolution going on because men that can lean into the nurturing side of themselves, we need that. We need more of that. And that doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a simp. It means that you care about the community as well. And it's not just about providing, physical support or monetary support. We need all of us to be full. So I'm grateful that you're doing this, right? Because if it shows that if you can do this, then you can do all the other things. And by honing in, like you said, once a month, one product, we're doing Urban View Give next year, where collectively, okay, instead of us just all over the place with her, let's focus on one nonprofit every single month that has already been doing the work, but just needs that little extra push to get it. Not the big ones. The big ones get the millions from Mackenzie Scott. We're not talking about the people that get Mackenzie Scott money or the folk that get the, the folk that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that just need a little help, right? And for a lot of these Black-owned businesses, Black women businesses in particular, I was talking with Omi about this too, because she does a pull-up and pitch competition for Black women, because she does Black Girl Ventures. If you feel like there's a void in the marketplace for men, please create it. We need more people to create, not be an offense. So I said all of that to say, let's stop being offended in 2024. Let's roll up our sleeves. If something that's bothering you, provide provide the increase.
But even with that, Karen, these resources already exist, right? I know that she has Black Girl Ventures. I think there's a Black Man Venture version as well. Buy from a Black woman is one resources, but are you part of your local Black chamber, right? Because they can help you find local Black businesses in your area. Are you going to your NAACP meetings? Are you part of the reparations task force? So before you come to me saying, oh, well, why buy from a Black woman? Ask yourself, what are you doing already to empower your economic and community community directly where you are, instead of being so upset because this Black woman is saying that she's going to support a community that looks like her. Really sit with yourself. And I think a lot of that is not happening. There's so many, uncool or I forgot what the thing, but like I had like the little, my thoughts are not, the normal. I forgot what the term is, but it's so many things I have. And one of those things is, before you come in my face, ask me why I'm doing this. Ask yourself what you're doing. How did you help support the Black community this month, this week, today? Before you question somebody else's intentions. Are you being intentional with your community? Are you giving money back? Are you tithing even to a local church? And if you don't believe in the church system, are you tithing in the form of donations to a local organizations that's uplifting the Black youth? These are things that we really have to get back to in order to have it. So we can't complain all the time and get our Twitter and our screen time on and do all these dissertations and our iNotes if you're not doing anything. I saw a tweet earlier today, and it was talking about how in the 60s, there was a group that actually questioned Black people who crossed boycott lines, who crossed the picket lines, or who were informants. And I'm like, well, I'm glad this is coming up. It's called the Deacons of Defense, and they were in Louisiana, and it was a group. It's a movie on Tubi. It's Forrest Whitaker. It's free. You can stream and learn your history. But basically, what they would do is they would question you, like, "Oh, you're a Black person. Why are you shopping at the store? You know we're boycotting. You know the Klan just burnt down your neighbor's house. So why are you over there?" And we don't have enough of that happening. You know what I mean? In order for change to happen, you have to enforce the change among your people and not be upset and not be offended, because the only way we're going to get help is if we help each other.
And for those, like, let's take it off the women and the men from a racial standpoint.
Yes.
If we are looking at the racial wealth gap being what it is, and we're also looking at a lot of that wealth was destroyed with the housing debacle, the subprime lending debacle, by the banks. While they were fine, nobody went to jail, and the Black wealth was not restored. We saw even there's a gap with education. There's a gap. And while it's easy to blame the victims, and I'm not saying Black people are victims, because we are overcomers, but the system is set up and designed in such a way that we are also conditioned to not support each other, even though we do. We're conditioned not to. And also in our minds to think these are the only ways that we can, thrive and survive, is to go through certain. So I like the self-sufficiency of this. And if you are not Black, supporting these Black women also, because I'm seeing that if you look at Black people as the weakest link, then don't you want America to be strong? Don't you want the country to be as strong as possible? Do we want to have any weak links? Do we want to have anyone in this country that's suffering? So let's lean in and shore up the places that we call, weak, and let's see what we can do. I'm so encouraged by this. I don't know if I'm going to do it though. So let me just say this to you publicly, Nikki. I appreciate what you're doing. I could replace one thing in my life, but it's hard. It's not hard. Let me not even lie. It's not hard. I think we are creatures of habit, and we like what we like.
And I'm not asking, this is extreme, because one, as a leader in this space, as a founder of an organization here for Black women business owners, sometimes you have to do extreme things to show people why your cause, why your mission, why your vision is valuable and important, and why you need people to support what you're doing. So I don't expect everybody who's listening to this is like, you know what, I'm giving up my tithe and I'm going over here. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just start to change. We have a form on buyfromblackwoman.org that you can go ahead and share with us weekly, monthly, however, even daily, that you can go ahead and type what you bought from a Black woman, right? So you can go on our website, like, what, I bought from a Black woman this week, or I bought from a Black business. Let me just go ahead and share what I bought. And it could be something that you did, but what that is going to show us is the people who are buying and supporting Black businesses, and also how much spending power we have in just our community. Last year alone, I was able to generate $2.7 million into the Buy from a Black Woman community.
Wow.
Now, that's a lot of money for one person to put. Now, this is through our partnerships and our resources and our programs, all that stuff, but I'm a little Black girl from Jersey, okay? Like, I didn't even know $2.7 million was attainable in my life when I was 15, 16, 17. And now I know that I can double that into Black women communities. Historically, we have had discrimination, and that's what keeps us. We see what's happening with what's the bank, Navy Federal. and they're showcasing that they were denying home loans for Black people who were making more money than their white counterparts. Now they tell us the American dreams have a good credit score, makes you make a lot of money, then you can get a home, and da 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 da. And these people are doing this, and they're still getting denied. But what would happen, Karen, if all the Black people who had money in Navy Federal moved it? And say, you know what, we see what's happening. No, not going to stand on that. We're going to stand on business and move our money, because you are actively in front of our face letting us know that you're denying us. But because that's not going to happen, there'll be a class action suit. We'll all sign up and everybody get $2 and be happy and da-da-da-da. And they'll keep doing the same thing. But all this stuff, it takes people to make change.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you look at the venture capital world, Black women, founders get 1% of venture capital money, 1% of the 100% of venture capital money, 1% goes to Black women founders. So this is a way to freak the algorithm. That's the way I look at it, and also kind of shift the playing field a little bit, because I would never go for venture capital money ever again. I did it one time, got $1 million from Bear Stearns to start a magazine. And after that was a great experience. So I want to say thank you, Bear Stearns. I'm not spitting in your face with the money, but it taught me something about ownership and power. And you never want to abdicate that to somebody that doesn't know what your vision is, doesn't dream the way you dream. But you are literally handing over your company and your vision to somebody because of some coin, when we can just sit in the soil a little bit and build on our own. And that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Nikki Porcher, a Black woman year. That's her pledge for the entire year. We're going to follow her. So follow that hashtag, a Black woman year. Also go to buyfromablackwoman.org. Join the forums, participate in telling the world what you're buying from a Black woman this year, and use the hashtag, a Black woman year, so that we can follow it along with you. But I wanted to just ask you one more thing, as you're putting this all together, the best find that you've had. Like, we haven't found the vapor rub yet, but in your research going into this year, what was the best find that Nikki Porcher had?
I just found some Black woman owned toilet paper, and it's bamboo and it's 3-ply. And I had no idea that you can use bamboo to wipe yourself.
Well, that actually makes sense. People use leaves and stuff. What's the name of it?
Okay, hold on, because I didn't bring up my list. Let me go ahead. Okay. I don't want to misquote this Black woman. I want to make sure that she gets all of the business that she needs. But it is called Lord Tush. That's LORTUSH.com. And she is in the DMV area. So if you're in that area, you want to support local, you can order online. There's also a Black owned toilet paper and Target, and the name is forgiving me. I'm not 100% sure if it's Black woman owned, but I do know it's Black owned. And for those of you who do not prepare and you're like, you know what, I need to be able to go in the store, we're going to have a list for you as well for that convenience, because we understand we are in that Instagratification lifestyle. We want the stuff when we want it, and we want it now. And sometimes we don't know how to plan properly. So we're going to also provide lists of in-store products that you can get when the next time you're in Target, Walmart, Sephora, Ulta, all that stuff. So you really won't have the excuse. You know what I mean? And then if you are a Black woman business owner, we do have a directory that we are building so more people can discover your business. You can go to buyfromablackwoman.org and add your business to that as well, to be part of Buy From a Black Woman community, because we do a lot of great things for the Black women.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And more things to come. So I'm going to follow you on your journey. I want you to also come back. We're going to check in, of course, because you're still going to be on the Karen Hunter Show talking about different companies, buyfromablackwoman.org. But I'm going to lean in to a Black woman year. Nikki, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you are part of this family.
Can't turn my back on that. Gotta make moves, gotta act on that. You're the one I want, and I stand on that. You and me, babe, that's black on black.